2 weeks later and I'm finally getting the video out. My Discord and I recently hosted the Fireside Game Jam, in which our goal was to have a vague theme and specifically have a rule that gave you bonus points for not making a platformer in order to encourage people to make a variety of games. And I think that we accomplished that. So the jam had 17 entries and 249 ratings, which means that pretty much everybody was involved in the rating process, which is a great thing. It means everybody got their game played, reviewed, and was able to get some useful feedback, hopefully. And what more can you ask for when you make a jam game? I mean, you can ask to win, but I think the most important thing is to have fun. That being said though, I am going to spend this video talking about the winners. But before we get into the video, if you don't know who I am, I'm Helper Wesley, I make these games, and I make weekly devlogs. So let's start with the community picks. The third place winner for this jam was a game called Fuel. This game was minimalist in all ways. The music, the sound, the art, and the mechanics, all of it was just the right amount. Nothing felt bloated or exaggerated. In the game, you leave your little home base and go collect crystals and bring it back to feed it. And every time that you do that, more enemies spawn, creating this natural progression in difficulty as your score goes up, which creates this interesting tension in an otherwise peaceful and relaxing environment. This game was made by Enzo Gray and Lightspeed 6, so congratulations to them for reaching third place. Second place goes to Photosynthesis and the Flowerverse of Darkness. My voice is not nearly epic enough to read that title. This is an adorable puzzle game with way more polish than any jam game has the right to have. This game has an adorable story, soundtrack, art style, and some actually pretty difficult puzzles. They start off pretty basic, but quickly ramp up into ones that took me a few tries to finish. Okay, more than a few tries. The thing I think I liked most about this game is the series of aha moments I continually felt throughout playing the game, where you would do something that would cause you to fail the level, but every time you failed, you realized, oh, I'm supposed to do it this way, or I'm supposed to do it that way. If every failure leads to an aha moment, you feel motivated to continue playing the game, as opposed to getting upset and quitting. So very well done there. I've never read this name out loud. This game was made by Mighty Jor? Okay. And Sid Fish Games. Congratulations on second place. And then the first place winner within the community picks is an artist I'm very fond of named Ben Brooks. Their art style always impresses. And on top of having a wonderful art style, they also made me read the term lemmings-like, which I don't think I've ever read before. Their game, Light Their Way, is an adorable, well-designed game with considerations for the player like preemptive teaching, tutorials in the pause menus, and well-paced levels. In this game, they decided to take the advice that every game dev suggests but never follows themselves. They created a small number of levels and spent the rest of their time polishing and tweaking their mechanics to make the game shine. So congratulations to Ben Brooks for first place. Now I'm going to move on to the judges' picks. And we didn't come to a definitive winner amongst the judges because we had so many good games in this jam that all three judges had picked completely different top threes. And most of them weren't in the community picks. So I'll begin with the other judges and then go to my favorite at the end. A close IRL friend of mine, who decided to go under the name Cutout 2.0 for some reason, decided their favorite game in the jam was Red 00. This was a top-down, twin sticks sort of arcade game that used the theme of rejuvenation as a way of healing your player using the dead bodies of the enemies that you kill in-game. It's actually a pretty unique mechanic. I can't think of a game off the top of my head that uses the same thing. And because healing slowed you down, it was a risk-reward mechanic that made you think on the fly. And I think that's what they appreciated most about the game. So congratulations to Ad00 for being their favorite pick. The following judge, Pongles, who is a moderator in the Game Dev Fireside Discord, and a friend of mine. Their favorite game was Phantom Blue, an adorable game about reanimating inanimate or deceased objects. The main mechanic was to take things and lay them on triggers to spawn bridges to progress through the game, as well as attacking enemies using the inanimate objects in the room to throw at them, which is kind of a cool mechanic actually. This game did pretty well in just about every mechanic other than theme, and I think that might be because you don't actually animate a dead corpse until later in the game, so you don't rejuvenate anything that's dead until later, and players might have played the game and not gotten to that point before rating. Just a guess. So congratulations to Exposition Games, White Ferret, Void Potato, and Tax on their submission for Phantom Blue. And then finally, my favorite submission actually is one of the 3 top community picks, but it isn't the first place one. I apologize, Ben Brooks. It's also not the second place one. Sorry guys. My favorite game from the Game Jam is Fuel. Just listen to that music and how the game opens, and I'm just a sucker for minimalism. I love it. I think this game looks gorgeous, sounds gorgeous, and the fact that the game isn't cluttered with a bunch of mechanics, it's just get what you need and get back, I think that's great. So I wanted to take a second to thank everybody who took part. I hope you learned something, I hope you had fun, and I hope you look back on this as a stepping stone as you go on to do greater things as game devs. To everybody who participated in the jam but wasn't able to finish the game, don't be disheartened. Making games is really hard. It takes a lot of practice. Even people with lots of games under their belt can still fall victim to scope creep and end up running out of time. So don't feel too bad about it. And that has been the results for the Fireside Jam. I am very happy with how it turned out, and I hope you guys are too. I need to apologize for this last bit because it's self-promotion, but if you like this video and want to see more game dev content, maybe click on that subscribe button. And if you want to talk to me personally or join in with the rest of us devs, the link to the Game Dev Fireside is down below. It's a pretty chill place to hang out and talk game dev. And if you decide to click on that link, then I will see you there.